And now for a little Webbot update. Cliff High said specifically there was basically one more precursor event he was looking for through the Webbot reports. One of them was about the firefighter thing. That was already covered. He said something about what was titled the Queen's Expose. The Queen of England, basically, expose. And someone sent this to me. Thank you for sending this to me because I didn't catch this. And I'm going to read you a little teeny, weeny, tiny piece of the Webbot report. And again, if YouTube, any bozos at YouTube that are trying to block my videos and tell me I'm copyright infringing, let me be clear. I'm giving credit right now to the Webbot report and Cliff High, who owns the Webbot report. It is 24 pages long. Each page has several paragraphs on each page. I am not reading I'm going to read a piece of one paragraph on one of those pages. To be specific, page 4 of the latest Webbot report called This Changing World, which is covered under the fair use copyright laws. So don't try anything funny. 2 for 2 now. They've tried to tell me I was copyright infringing, and both times I fought back, and both times they released it and said, oh, never mind, you were right. So any employees at YouTube, you better settle down. Headline from the Webbot report: Naked Queens and Really Bad Bet. And I only need a piece of that. I don't need to read the whole thing because it's whatever. We have temporal markers that chain off of the firefighters fight injustice ? Word set. That was one of the other ones in which firefighters came up, and then the guys getting shot, the firefighters that got shot, was like on top of that. So to Cliff High, it was like, yes, that was absolutely the firefighter meme. We've hit that. So it says on that word set itself, in itself a major temporal marker in which we note that Queen or Queens, either way, will be exposed, and exposure of failure of surety, another exposure of failure of surety or a method deemed unfailable will fail. These next two temporal markers are both wide in the sense that we expect multiple examples of the language to appear in the mainstream media. Both of these temporal marker sets are forecast to manifest prior to the first run-up in silver prices. And he says specifically prices denominated in Federal Reserve US dollar notes, etc. And notice how it said the first run-up in silver prices. There's going to be more. This will be first. So the precursor events that he's saying are going to come first before you see the run-up in precious metals prices. So anybody, including my old arch nemesis, Bozo Beast, which his real name is D-A, Obese Beast, who I have aptly named Bozo Beast because he is a bozo. I used to argue with this guy all the time, and then he started making up lies and making up words out of my mouth. I had to ban him. But we will never see $50 silver again, according to him. It's done. Matter of fact, I think he even said we wouldn't even see $30 silver again after it was down to the little spike down to 26. And, of course, we've seen $38 since then, 32, 33, 34, 31, 30, backed up to 32 as I'm doing this video, whatever. Having said all that, let me just read that final sentence that I haven't read yet. So both of these temporal markers forecast to manifest prior to the first run-up in silver prices. And he says, note, little star, note that the Queen's exposed temporal marker has started to appear by the date of this publication, which is December 31st, 2012. Just started. So he's looking for the fulfillment of the Queen's exposed subject. And 14 days later, by the way, after this was written, news out of The Guardian UK. Again, let me give my disclaimer for YouTube employees. I'm going to quote a page from The Guardian. I've taken one little sentence out of a massive amount of sentences. One little single liner covered under fair use. Once again, this is a Guardian UK, known as The Guardian, that I'm pulling this from. First sentence. First sentence of the article. First, hold on. Back to the Webbot. Last sentence. Note that the Queen's exposed temporal marker has started, blah, blah, blah. Okay. First sentence, Guardian. Got a picture of the Queen walking between those bozos with the long hats, little soldiers, whatever. The extent of the Queen and Prince Charles' secretive power of veto over new laws has been exposed after Downing Street lost its battle to keep information about its application secret. The extent of the Queen and Prince Charles' secretive power of veto over new laws has been exposed. I wonder if silver prices, considering that there's a shortage right now, are fixing to run up after 3 precursor events he's been waiting for has been hit. The only question is, now that those events have been hit, how soon out into the future is this next event that these precursor events we're talking about, which is the price of silver rising during its first stage of rising? There'll be a multiple stage rising in prices of silver. And to give you a little more specific knowledge on that, Cliff High said we would see, again, these precursor events, and that would precede the first of more than one risings in the price of silver. And once that first one spiked, and he doesn't know where it's going to spike to. Is it going to spike to 45, 55, 60, 65? He's not sure. It will spike significantly higher than it is now. And he said it would then have a sell-off. Oh, it was it was overbought, blah, blah, blah. Markets and bozos on TV. Oh, overbought. Oh, okay, everyone sells. A little sell-off. And in a very short period of time, like maybe a few days, it spikes back to the price it was spiked at and then goes past it even higher to make a new high. So where the price is for that, I don't know. Is it going to do it at 45, 55, 65? I have no idea. But if the price as of this video is $32 for silver, it should at least spike into the 40s, in my humble opinion, as a minimum. And then maybe there's a sell-off at 45 and it drops it back down to 35. And then it goes past that, it goes back up to 50, 55. Something like that. Just to give you an example. I'm not saying that I know that's what the price is going to be. But notice the Webbot said the first one will take place. So that was to be the first one. So if that's the first rising, and then it goes back to, say, 55, in my little poor example, then that means there's more risings coming after that. That would only be the first. So, as I've said, keep stacking silver. And if anybody decided after I did the videos and said, hey, there looks like there's a shortage going on. Hey, I looked at the SLV purchasing 572 tons. You still had an opportunity to buy some silver. That window's closing rapidly. And again, yeah, sure, APMEX has some silver. You want some silver? Go to APMEX and spend $5 to $6 over spot price to get you some silver eagles. So $32 will turn in, by the time you calculate shipping and all the crap, you may be paying $38 an ounce for silver eagles. And the price is $32. So this is why you can't wait. $30, I've been saying it, it's got the word buy all over it. But you didn't buy. Some of you did, some of you didn't. This is the kind of thing where you say, damn it, now I'm ready. He's right. Okay, I know it went up a little bit, but now I want to buy it. Oh, I can't buy any. You know what? Forget the silver eagles. I'll buy the Canadian mint coins, these maple leaves. Oh, but they're starting to run out now too. Uh-oh. Yet the price still says $32 on the Kitco, the Comex price, $30. How in the hell do you have a shortage of something and the price stays basically still? Oh, that's right, because the price is set by the bankers through their paper market. And the paper claims it has millions of ounces of coins standing by for delivery of anyone who wants to buy out the paper contract and just ask for delivery. We have it, trust us. When we all already know it's at least 200 to 1. There's 200 pieces of paper on a single claim of silver when there should be 200 individual claims of silver, if you will. So where's that going to lead when that's exposed? And you got to understand, when people start, like, for example, the Mint, the U.S. Mint, ran out of coins again. Not even a month later, basically, roughly a month later, month and a week, something like that. After saying we ran out of coins or blanks or whatever at the end of 2012, so we're not going to make any more 2012 coins, but we will start making 2013 coins around the 7th of January, then you can make your purchases. And they sold so many, they ran out. You mean to tell me the United States Mint did not have enough silver to meet the demand that it could easily see was there and ran out that fast? Are you kidding me? No, I'm not kidding you, because they are experiencing a silver shortage. So I want to throw a little separate idea. Now, I've always stood by the fact that I did not think for 1 second that the SLV paper, it's a share, the iSilver Trust, whatever, iShares, whatever, iSilver Trust. And I was basically claiming that they probably don't have the silver either. They're just claiming they went out and bought a bunch of tonnage of silver so that they can legally, through the SEC, Securities Exchange Commission, get the okay to issue more stocks, more shares. Because each ounce of silver they claim they have counts as one share they can sell to somebody as an investment. So if they just faked that they went out and bought this silver, they can just say, hey, Securities Exchange Commission, we just bought, let me scribble on here, 572 ounces, tons. Can we get the authorization to sell 18 million shares now? Yes, you can. Okay, done. But I got to tell you, that's where I've always thought and stood. That was my thought. But I'm almost wondering, is it possible, as absurd as it may sound to some people, that the SLV really has been, always has been, and currently does in fact have the silver they claim they have? Which is why they got their silver and the U.S. Mint was told to go pound sand, and everyone else was running out of silver, but somehow SLV was able to acquire 572 tons. That's 18 plus million ounces without a problem. Again, it sounds like it's just a paper entry, but what if they really have it? And this whole time, they were the ones leasing out the physical silver to the COMEX, mainly the COMEX and the LBMA in London, leasing it to them. So in other words, in the existence of SLV, I'm just going to throw a number out there because I don't have it in front of me. Let's say they purchased the 572 tons. Let's just say they had another 1,000 tons since they started this thing. They've got roughly 1,500 tons of silver. Millions and millions and millions. 60 million ounces worth of silver. I'm just making a number up. I think it's a lot more than that. 60 million ounces worth of silver. And then the COMEX gets into trouble. We'll lease it to the COMEX so they can put the fires out. Why? Because nobody can ever come to the SLV and say, give me your silver. I'm a shareholder and I've got 10 shares. I want 10 ounces. Can't do that. Nobody can. And they don't have to show you. They had one little baby BS audit done a few years ago that was a ridiculous 2-page audit. And they said, yep, it's there. And I think that was a sham, which is why I've always thought that there's no way they have that silver that they claim that they've purchased. What I am thinking, though, now is maybe they did really purchase it, but even when the audit came, they didn't have enough silver to match what they were supposed to have. So, of course, they had their buddy in the audit, yeah, check it off, it's all here, when really it wasn't. And the reason it wasn't was because it was leased out all over the place a million times over, and especially to the COMEX and LBMA, so they can put those fires out on the exchanges. When too many people demand delivery, we'll just borrow the silver, put out the fires, drop the price of silver, do it again. But what happens when everyone else needs silver and no one else has it? And you still have this mechanism for setting the price known as the COMEX, the futures market, still setting the price, and no one can get any. What you're going to have is the companies that really need it, whether it's for investment purposes or Apple computers or iPhones or electronics or medical or whatever it is, saying, well, damn, the only place we can go is right on the COMEX. We used to have a supplier who ran out, a big-time supplier. Now, I guess we'll have to go to the open market and get it that way. Okay, go ahead. You got the CEO and vice president said go for it. Go ahead and use the COMEX. It's an open market, except when you place the order, you're not actually buying a futures contract, even though you are. It's going to be an actual order because we're not playing the game of hope the price goes up and then sell the contract. We need physical silver for our supplies here to make computers and whatever this particular place, in this fake story I'm telling you, whatever they needed. So immediately buy, a whole bunch of these futures contracts and then give them the full payout amount so you can demand delivery immediately. We don't care about the market and playing the paper game to make money. Give them the full amount for the contract and then demand delivery so we can get the silver in here. They're the only ones that have it. No one else has it. They're the ones setting the price, so they've got to have it. Get it from them. And what are you going to find happens? Delay, longer delay, 3-week delay, month-long delay. Uh-oh. And yet the price, 32. Again, this is a little pretend story here that could very well come true. $32 silver. $32 silver. But wait a minute, isn't there delivery, way past delivery dates coming? Yeah, that's right. And the price is still $32. You see where this is going? It will no longer be able to control the price. People will immediately see it's a scam and look elsewhere for price, for pricing. Or it'll just blow up in everyone's face and be exposed to the scam it always was. You never had the silver. You're still setting the prices with these pieces of paper, and you can't back up the pieces of paper. Therefore, it's null and void. There's no way our government could sit there idly by at that point and say, it's okay, it's fine, don't worry about it. Can't happen. So that's all I got for you. Thought I had a little interesting story to tell about this Webbot and my little thought on the SLV and all that. Whatever. Take care.